ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਡਗ ਫੋਰਡ ਨੇ ਘੋਸ਼ਣਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ 6 ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ 5 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੰਡਰ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਅਤੇ ਪੋਸਟ ਗ੍ਰੈਜੂਏਟ ਅਹੁਦਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਵਧਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਪ੍ਰੀਮੀਅਰ ਫੋਰਡ ਨੇ ਓਮਿਕਰੋਨ ਦੇ ਸਬ ਵੇਰੀਐਂਟ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਪਡੇਟ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਦਾਨ ਕੀਤੀ। ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਿੱਜੀ ਸਹਾਇਤਾ ਕਰਮਚਾਰੀਆਂ ਲਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਦੀ ਅਸਥਾਈ ਤਨਖਾਹ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਾਧਾ ਅਤੇ ਫੈਕਲਟੀ ਮੈਂਬਰਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਹਾਇਕ ਸਟਾਫ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਸੰਭਾਵਿਤ ਪ੍ਰੋਵਿੰਸ ਵਿਆਪੀ ਕਾਲਜ ਹੜਤਾਲ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ।
Our government is making a major expansion to the medical education in Ontario and adding 160 undergraduate positions and 295 postgraduate positions to Ontario's medical schools. This is the largest expansion in more than 10 years. And it will create more spaces at all 6 medical schools across the province, further delivering on our promise to bring high-quality health care to all parts of Ontario. But most exciting of all, we're building the brand new Ryerson School of Medicine that will open right here in Brampton. Our government is investing in training the doctors who will serve this community at a new hospital for Brampton that we announced last summer. We want doctors from this community, trained in this community, serving this community. Ontario's doctors are some of the finest in the entire world. We have seen that proven every day over the last 2 years. With this investment, we're supporting more students to take the path to becoming a doctor and creating the family doctors and specialists that will take care of us in the years to come. And we're bringing these opportunities to our growing cities like Brampton, where there is so much talent and strong desire for people to give back to their communities. This is just one part of our efforts to strengthen our healthcare workforce, including adding 5,000 new and upskilled registered nurses and registered practical nurses, as well as 8,000 more personal support workers. With these investments, we're putting the health of Ontarians first and building a stronger healthcare system for the years to come. Our province has come so far, and we can't afford to go back to the politics of no. Instead, your government is saying yes. Yes to training more doctors and nurses, yes to investing in our communities, and yes to building a stronger, more resilient province. Friends, let's say yes to the better and brighter future that the people of Ontario deserve. Friends, after 2 very long years, we've come so far. Because of the sacrifices made by Ontarians and the amazing care provided by our healthcare heroes, we've been able to safely and cautiously reopen our province. After decades of underinvestment, this pandemic stretched our system to the limit. But now, looking ahead, we can be confident that Ontario is better prepared for the future. We're producing more of the masks, gowns, gloves, goggles, face shields, and ventilators we need here at home. Because of our ambitious plan that's building Ontario, we're adding thousands of hospital and long-term care beds. With the support of our government's historic funding, fast-growing towns like Brampton are attracting more doctors, nurses, and personal support workers to care for patients. But we can do more to build a stronger, more resilient health system. A big part of that is ensuring we're training the next generation of world-class health professionals and making sure that we are providing the opportunities for more women and men to get the schooling they need to become the doctors of tomorrow. That is why I'm proud to announce
BC ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਨੀਮਮ ਵੇਜ ਵਿੱਚ 35% ਦਾ ਵਾਧਾ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਜੂਨ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਣ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਵਧ ਰਹੀ ਮਹਿੰਗਾਈ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਦਿਆਂ BC ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇਹ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। BC ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹਿਣ ਲਈ ਪ੍ਰਤੀ ਘੰਟਾ $20 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਖਰਚਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਉੱਥੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਮੁਸ਼ਕਲ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਐਡਵੋਕੇਟ ਇਸ ਵਾਧੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਕਾਫੀ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ।
ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਜੂਨ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਨੀਮਮ ਵੇਜ BC ਵਿੱਚ $15.20 ਸੀ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਨਫਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਰੇਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਐਵਰੇਜ ਸੀਗਾ BC ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ 2.8% ਇਨਕਰੀਜ਼ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਸਟੈਟਿਸਟਿਕ ਕੈਨਰਾ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ। ਉਹਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਨੀਮਮ ਵੇਜ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ $15.20 ਤੋਂ ਵਧਾ ਕੇ $15.65 ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ BC ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਟਾਰਟਿੰਗ ਜੂਨ 1 2022। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਲਟਰਨੇਟ ਮਿਨੀਮਮ ਵੇਜ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਚਾਹੇ ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟ ਕੇਅਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਚਾਹੇ ਲਿਵ ਇਨ ਕੈਂਪ ਲੀਡਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੇਜਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ 2.8% ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਤੇ ਪੀਸ ਰੇਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਕੁਝ ਫਾਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ 15 ਕ੍ਰੌਪਸ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੈਂਡ ਹਾਰਵੈਸਟ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਉੱਤੇ ਕੰਮ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੇਟ ਵੀ 2.8% ਨਾਲ ਵੱਧ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੈਡਿਕਟੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਸਰਟਨਟੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਵਰਕਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸਹਾਰਾ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੇਟ ਆਫ ਇਨਫਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣਾ ਗੁਜ਼ਾਰਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਰ ਸਕਣ।
In recent months, the cost of living has shot up across BC. The cost of food, the cost of gas, the cost of everything. $5 an hour gap between the minimum wage and actually what we at Living Wage for Families BC calculate families actually need to be able to survive. So for workers in Victoria and Vancouver, you need to earn $20.50 an hour to be able to get by.
As a small business, I see the positive impacts of a decent minimum wage, and I'm here today to support the reasonable and predictable increases. Providing decent minimum wages for my employees ensures that they're happier, more productive, and they stay longer at the business.
We live in one of the most expensive cities in the world, and it's really difficult to survive when you're being asked to pay rent that has increased by 8% over the last year. When the minimum wage has only gone up 5%. I had realized that half of our staff, or more than half of our staff, were already at the living wage rate. And so it wasn't a massive leap for us, but it's something that I've always kind of had at the back of my mind, something that I've always wanted to do.
ਫੇਅਰ ਵੇਜਸ ਕਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਲਾਸਟ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇਣੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ ਵੇਜ ਤੇ ਮਿਨੀਮਮ ਵੇਜ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੈਪ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਡੀਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਾਂਗੇ। ਉਹ ਰਿਪੋਰਟ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਏਗੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਫਿਰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਮੇਰਾ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਦੀ ਵੇਜਸ ਮਰਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ, ਔਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕੋਈ ਦੋ ਰਾਵਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ।
ਰੂਸ ਅਤੇ ਯੂਕਰੇਨ ਵਿਚਾਲੇ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਕਾਫੀ ਤਣਾਅਪੂਰਨ ਬਣੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਨ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਚੱਲਦਿਆਂ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ ਮਾਮਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਰੂਸ ਅਤੇ ਯੂਕਰੇਨ ਵਿਚਾਲੇ ਬਣੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਲਾਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਚਰਚਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ। ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ ਮਾਮਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨੇ ਆਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਯੂਕਰੇਨ ਤੇ ਨੋ ਫਲਾਈ ਜ਼ੋਨ ਦਾ ਸਮਰਥਨ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਰੂਸ ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਪਕ ਟਕਰਾਅ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ।
To Canadians and to the House of Commons today, obviously it was important for President Zelensky to talk to Canadians, but also to feel that we're with him and that we commend him for his courage, his resolve, and his determination. He also said that Canada was one of the strongest allies and a close friend, but we understand also that we can do more and we will do more. And so we know that he's been asking for a no-fly zone for some time now. What the Prime Minister and myself and other colleagues have said is that we don't want to trigger an international conflict, and that's why the question of the no-fly zone is a difficult one, but is one that we can't address because it would trigger an international conflict. Russia is not following any form of humanitarian corridors. They're bombing civilians even when they have said that they would be following a humanitarian corridor based on the negotiations they're having with Ukrainians. We know that Ukrainians are trying to bring that to the negotiation table. They're trying to bring a ceasefire as well. I've been in contact with Dmytro Kuleba, the Minister of Foreign Affairs for Ukraine, even yesterday, and I speak to him pretty much every day or every 2 days. And it is an issue. It is an issue because at the same time, since Russia is not, and more on weapons. So today we announce more individuals that would be sanctions, particularly military personnel, but we'll do more. And I had a conversation earlier today, just after President Zelensky's address, with Joseph Borrell, who is my EU counterpart. And we spoke about making sure that there are even stronger sanctions. The other thing also is obviously we need to have more weapons sent to Ukraine, sent successfully to Ukraine, and that's what we are doing. Minister Anand has been doing a great job on that, and we're coordinating also with other members of the G7 to make sure that we again are coordinated, that we work together as like-minded countries. We've shown very strong unity since the beginning of this crisis, and clearly what we've been able to show is Putin has failed. Putin has failed because his decision to invade Ukraine is clearly not only a miscalculation, but a failure on his part politically, diplomatically, economically, at every single level of decision making. He decided to invade Ukraine and thought the invasion would happen within days. That was not the case. It's been 20 days. Resistance is happening on the ground, and Ukrainians are fighting extremely well. He thought he would divide the West. Clearly, this is not happening. We've imposed sanctions like never before, and we've been having a very strong voice, making sure that we really put maximum pressure on his regime, and we will continue until we're able to win this fight, because
ਇੱਕ 10 ਸਾਲਾ ਲੜਕੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਦਿਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕਥਿਤ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਹਮਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਲੜਕੀ ਦੁਪਹਿਰ ਵੇਲੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਘਰ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ। ਕਿਊਬਿਕ ਦੇ ਨਿਰਦੇਸ਼ਕ ਨੇ ਪੁਸ਼ਟੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਕਿ ਲੜਕੀ ਉੱਪਰ ਹਮਲਾ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਫੜ ਲਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਈ ਚਾਰਜਸ ਲਗਾ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਹਿਰਾਸਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਅਦਾਲਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ।
Suddenly, at one point, the man started to attack the 10 years old, punching her, dragging her a couple meters. No life-threatening injuries, though. Fortunately at this moment, but serious injuries at the upper body. Could be a mental health issue problem that caused that altercation, but still to be determined.
It is absolutely unacceptable. It's troubling.
Well, I have grandkids, yeah, and one of them is 10, so like, you know, I was shocked. Well, I hope it doesn't happen again, and I hope there's more security.